Welcome, welcome. Today we're going to take our foam roller and we're going to do a sequence that is mindful and centering and somewhat restorative, but not completely restful, right? We are going to be active in some capacity. If you don't have a foam roller, what do? You can take a bath towel, take it the lengthwise, like the longest setting, and roll it up, right? Or blanket, you can do the same thing. We are gonna start with the foam roller lengthwise, so we're actually not gonna use the roller to roll anything out. It's great to do that, but there's so many other uses for the roller. So you're gonna sit right at the very end. So you want your butt to be right, almost like it's gonna come off the end. And then you're gonna take your hands kind of wide behind you and you're gonna let your butt curl underneath. And as you do that, you're gonna notice if your sacrum, which is what that bone is that you can feel there, you're gonna notice if it's off to one side or the other. You're gonna try and work to bring it center. And then you're just gonna rotate your shoulders, pushing through your arms. Now, if this is too much in your shoulders, you can come a little higher and take your arms a little wider. But you're allowed to bend your elbows and wiggle. And then I want you to look at your knees, feel where your feet are, and I want you to slowly roll yourself down using your arms as support. As you roll all the way down, you're trying to get yourself as centered as possible on your foam roller. Wiggle around. Bring your arms down by your side and your feet at least shoulder width, maybe a little bit wider. We're going to start with a little articulated bridge here. So you're going to curl the pelvis under, aiming the sits bones up. Make sure your shoulders, your neck, and your throat are nice and easy as you slowly peel your spine up off the roller. And you're trying to get a sense of the sequence of your spine, this sequential articulation. And then you're going to roll down and just try and move in as smooth a sequence as possible. What you might notice is like some of them kind of come up in clumps, or you might notice a little zigzag, and that's okay. Those are normal things that happen. And you just go, okay, I'm just aiming towards an even center sequencing as I roll up, bridging up, but not from my belly or my back, bridging up from my hips, but I've picked up my spine, and then you're going to roll down. Start at the top. So you're going to feel these ribs and the navel pull back in the front, but on the back, you're really feeling this movement of your back, your spine. Your spine is processes of your vertebra on the roller. You're going to do one more like that. You're going to curl under, aim the sits bones up towards the ceiling, slowly peel up. Breathe there, and then slowly roll down. This time when you roll down, really get that area in between your shoulder blades down to almost the middle of the back. Really get that long and connected as you then release the rest of your spine and even your sacrum down onto the mat. If it feels good for you stability-wise to keep your feet wide, keep them there. If you want a little bit more stability challenge, you bring your feet a little closer. You try and keep your spine from head or skull to sacrum, head to butt, whatever you want to think, long and press down into the roller as you simultaneously pull in and back to keep the spine as close to the roller as possible. Reach your arms up towards the ceiling, clasp your hands together. You are going to inhale and reach your knuckles up towards the ceiling. Exhale, draw the shoulder blades, squeezing them on either side of the roller without your back lifting off the roller. So keep those abdominals lightly engaged to keep your back with the roller. Doing that again. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, drop your shoulder blades down. Squeeze the roller with your shoulder blades. Flip to the other thumb on top. Do two on this side. Inhale up. Exhale down, squeezing the shoulder blades. One more. Inhale up. Exhale, squeezing the shoulder blades and come down. Then find a happy medium. So you're not reaching too much up towards the ceiling where you feel it in your neck and shoulders, and you're not pinching back so you feel the roller. You're going to find that happy medium. Separate the hands so the palms are facing each other. Your arms are parallel. Elbows and palms face each other. You're going to keep that as you reach the arms overhead on a nice breath in. Again, trying to keep your spine, your back with the roller as you inhale, which is hard. We have to learn how to breathe into the back of our body, to expand on our inhale into the back and side body rather than just into the belly. Then you're going to bend your elbows, letting your palms face the ceiling. As you bend your elbows, you're going to pass through what we call cactus or goalpost position. You're going to see how much your shoulder blades here can drop towards the roller, elbows and arms come down, and then you're going to continue to slowly bring those elbows in towards the roller or in towards your waistline. Then if they get close as you can get them, you're going to bring your arms down by your side. You're going to reach your fingertips back up towards the ceiling. Same thing again, palms and elbows facing each other. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. Keep those ribs down, neck and throat nice and open. Open the arms out to the side, bend the elbows, and bring it all the way around, passing through this like delicious pec stretch as you bring your arms around and down. And last one, reaching the arms up, reach them overhead, allowing your spine to stay connected, but your throat and neck to be free, and then bring the elbows out to the side. Hold here in that cactus position where you have a 90-degree angle at your elbow, and you're just gonna do a little internal and external rotation. Everybody's different. I have like pretty mobile shoulders, so do not think that you need to look like this, right? So sometimes our hands and elbows are still in the air. They're not on the ground. That's okay. Sometimes if you prefer, like you want to get the release or the relax of that position, say if you wanted to stay here for a moment and just let your chest open up and your shoulders drop down, you could definitely pad up those forearms. Keep going with your internal and external. And just one more. And you can let even your shoulder blades move a little bit with this. Sometimes it feels really nice to get those shoulder blades massaging on the roller. Bring your arms all the way down by your side. Plant the palms down the ground. And have the arms maybe about the width of your mat. Like my pinky fingers are right at the edge of my mat. My forearms are pressing down. And I'm going to feel like I can push my arms into the mat for a little help in that stability. Again, as I push my arms down, I'm still engaging my abdominals so my ribs are connected. You're going to bring your feet together. You can do this 1 foot at a time, but I like to challenge you to lift both heels up. Check in. Send your skull away from your tail in the roller. Draw those ribs and even the navel a little bit towards the roller as you slide your feet towards your butt and then lift up. Notice when you did that, did everything tug towards your tail, towards your legs? That's normal for it to try and do that, but you are going to try and stabilize against that. So let's try that again. Bring your feet down. Notice if you feel that tug, but can you stabilize against it? Now, if you're like impossible, when I lift my feet up, it goes 1, 2, and peel it back and just do one leg at a time. So you can keep 1 foot down, lift one leg, switch to the other side, but that core stability is what you're working on. You are stabilizing a little bit with those arms. Drag the feet to the butt, lifting the legs up. Hold there at your version of tabletop, either one leg or both legs. And we're going to start to alternate. Let's flex the feet just so we have a little tone in our ankles and feet. Keep the space of the knees wherever you have it, whether it's dropped or lifted. Just keep whatever space behind your knees there. Keep your spine absolutely long and stable here as you drop one heel down and up, the other heel down and up. Breathe with this. Now, if you're doing one leg at a time, right? So if you're doing that, you're just going to bring one leg up. You'll bring it down. Bring the other leg up, and you'll try not to rock just like I did. Somehow, both legs up is giving me a little bit more feedback and making me be a little bit more stable than one leg up and down. Breathing here. One more set. Even yourself out. So maybe it's a set and a half, depending on how fast or slow you're moving. If you've got both legs up, bring your feet together and slowly lower the feet to the floor. Separate that and hold there. Take a nice breath in and then out. From there, you're gently going to roll off the roller. If you're using the rolled up towel, you can roll off the towel. If you've got a rolled up towel, I want you to take that length, but just double it up, and we're going to be putting the roller or the doubled up long towel underneath your butt. So you're going to bridge up. You're going to take this underneath your butt. You wiggle around, get center yourself on your mat. Now, when we're here, a lot of times you'll take the roller either too high or too low at the beginning. So take the time to find the setup, to find that Goldilocks placement. So that place that's right where you don't feel too arched, right? Your spine's not arched, but you're also not going to like slip the roller out from underneath you. So find that place right across your sacrum and your pelvis.
Take a second and roll side to side. Even if you're on your towel, just roll a little bit side to side. It's not the same as the roller if you're on the towel, but it's still useful information to notice like which butt cheek has more tension in it, or which hip feels just more grounded towards the floor, which side of the pelvis. And then find center. Take your hands to your ribs, make sure your ribs are dropped, your navel's pulling in. If you've got the roller, take your hands to the sides of the roller to help stabilize it. If you're just working with a towel, you can probably just bring your arms to the ground. We're going to bring our knees into our chest, and that's going to pull our pelvis a little bit into a posterior tilt, just a teeny bit. So I don't want you to, again, I don't want the roller to roll back. I want you to find that you still have this like hook of your pelvis on the roller. Then you're going to take one leg, stretch it up towards the ceiling. We're going to flex and point that foot 3 times. And then you're going to flex and hold. So one leg's kind of at a lazy tabletop. The other leg is straight with a reaching out heel. And you're going to slowly lower that leg down. Make sure your neck and throat and shoulders are really easy. You're going to see, can you bring that leg all the way down without your ribs flaring? So you're going to hold there. And I really have to work my quadricep to keep my knees straight. And I just have to wait here. Now notice if your leg is turning out. It feels nice. I get a little pull there, but I'm going to stay parallel. And slowly bring that down and hold there. Keep your ribs calm. Keep your neck and shoulders nice and free. So I'm using my abdominals here, but I'm also getting this lovely sort of hip flexor and even a little bit of yawn through the upper attachments of my quadricep here. One more breath there. Bring that leg in all the way, bending it in. And then we're going to do the other side. Stretch the other leg up. Flex and point 3 times. Flex and hold. Reach that leg out like someone's pulling your heel. Keep your pelvis somewhat leveled on the roller. And take that moment, like right here, my leg doesn't totally, I mean, I could just collapse and drop my foot, but I'm trying to keep that knee straight. And I'm going to just hold there. I'm going to really think link, like someone's gently pulling my leg as I engage my abdominals and try to keep my pelvis and spine as stable as I can. Ooh, this side feels different. My pelvis is going to move just a little bit to allow for that. Inner thigh, so like kneecaps and toes pointed towards the ceiling. Belly pulling back. And then you're going to bring your legs in. This time we are going to let the pelvis really roll as the knees come closer to your chest. You could have feet really lazy or feet a little bit towards the ceiling. As you do that, your lower back is going to round, right? Your ribs are dropped. And then I want you to stay heavy, like your butt stays really heavy on whatever you're working with, towel or the roller. And you're going to slowly traction, like push that roller out from underneath your butt. Slide or drag is the word. If you're working with the towel, drag the towel out from underneath your butt. And you're going to slowly roll down and be all the way on the mat there. And then bring your feet down and rest for a minute. Take a breath there. And then you're going to take that roller or your rolled up towel behind your rib cage. Similar to the pelvis, everyone has a little spot that's like their place. So you can play with this to figure out what's the right place for you. So if it's too low, you're going to be on your floating ribs, and we don't want that because they're too mobile. So don't go too low. And if it's too high, it'll just kind of feel too easy. So you kind of have to figure out what's the right place for you, and you might have to do a few times or move around a little bit. You might have to roll. If you've got a roller, you might have to roll around a little bit. So just play with that. All right, finding the place that's right for you. Then you're going to have your feet anywhere between sits bones distance to shoulder distance. Doesn't matter to me. Just make sure you keep your feet and knees parallel as you lift your hips up a little bit. And I'm just going to engage my hamstrings, glutes, feet, just enough to try and keep my pelvis stable. As I allow my upper back and ribs to stretch back, I've got my hands supported in my head as I go back over the roller. Could I do this with my butt down? Sure thing. Sure thing. It's just a lot of extension, which sometimes is a lot all at once. So we're going to do it with the hips lifted a few times. You're curling up and back. So you're going to go back bending, going into extension in your thoracic vertebra, breathing in. Exhale, curling up. Inhale, going back. If the roller rolls a little bit against those ribs, that's a-okay, because you're using the ribs to move it a little bit. And then if you want to, you could take the butt down. You could keep the knees bent, or you could even straighten the legs out. Heels together, toes apart, so your legs do still stay active. You go back again, and you curl. Maybe you want to add a little, like, push through one rib cage, add a little rotation with that. Maybe it's too much to take the butt down, and you want to keep the butt lifted as you play with this. I'm adding a little rotation, so I go back through the center. As I come up, I play with how my ribs push on the roller, and I bring my opposite armpit towards opposite foot. And then I go back through the center, and then I lift up and opposite armpit to foot. But I'm really feeling that pressure through my rib cage. One more time. I'm going to do one more in the center just so I feel level. Then I'm going to reach my arms forward, bend my knees, lift up into my bridge because I came out of it, and slowly, slowly, slowly I'm going to roll to take this roller to my neck and the base of my skull. And then here, again, everyone's got like a little sweet spot. So I'm going to take this a little bit. I'm just going to keep my head and neck really heavy here. I'm just going to push it a little bit more to the base of my skull because that feels nice. The rest of my body, I'm really going to try and relax. And then I'm just going to turn my head side to side, pressing the base of my skull here onto the roller. And I can feel how my pelvis is kind of tucked, so I'm going to adjust my feet, let my tail drop, let my ribs drop, and just hold my head on one side. So I'm going to turn kind of like I've been saying no. I'm going to stay on one side with my no, and then I'm going to say yes. And my hands are just going to kind of play with, do I want to hold the roller steady and let my head slide, or do I want the roller to move? So you can play with that. And I'm also exploring, like, where do I need that pressure point? Where do I need that little massage? And then come center and roll to the other side and explore the other side because they are not the same. Notice that as you do this, if your rib cage, shoulders tried to get involved, did your pelvis and your butt start to clench, or can you really let that go? And then come back to center, do one or two more in the center. And then to come out of here, you're going to take one hand behind your head, and you're really going to have your head be heavy, heavy, heavy. So you don't want to lift your head up yet. You are going to try and support it with your arm. The other hand's just going to press the roller away, and then very slowly you bring your head all the way down. You bring your arms all the way down by your side. You let your roller float away from you. You let your sacrum, your ribs, and your skull be really heavy. Let your hip joints relax. Your feet drop into the ground. Your shoulders relax back. Take a deep breath in there. Exhale, imagine your head and your tail, your ears and your feet kind of moving away, getting longer and longer. Another breath in and out, allowing your shoulders all the way down to your fingertips, your throat, your neck and jaw to relax. And you're done for today.
Please use this roller work anytime you just need to recenter and find that alignment and do something that kind of just gently reconnects you to that midline, to your center, while also allowing your nervous system to relax and release. So it's a perfect thing to do towards the end of your day before you go to bed, or if you know that you have a midpoint in your day and you're looking at like a long evening, like doing this beforehand is a really nice reset so that you're not tired but wired. You can really sort of shift into parasympathetic nervous system while also doing just enough core work to get yourself aligned and a little bit closer to your true center. All right, until next time, keep moving.